At this time, we'll have our inductees escorted in. Our first inductee is Carolyn Malloy. She is escorted by Mr. Aaron Mason. Our second inductee is Lisa Connolly Briggs. She is escorted in by Mr. Daniel Hughes. Our third inductee is Mr. Matt Cannone. He is escorted by Mia Molino. And our final inductee is Mr. Jack Gati. He is escorted by Riley Mahoney. I would like to introduce our color guard members tonight, presenting the colors: Natalie Mulhern, Kylie Porter, Justin Baldridge, and Maya Wheeler to present the colors.
Right, cut. Present. Arms.
At this time, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Post. Post the colors. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Post. Ready. Cut.
You may now be seated. So good evening, everybody. I'm your Master of Ceremonies tonight. My name is Scott Insing. I'm the Athletic Director here at Salem High School, and I would like to welcome everybody to our 2024 Salem Woodbury Induction Ceremony here at Atkinson Country Club. At this time, I would like to take a few moments to thank the Hall of Fame committee members who make this ceremony a meaningful and prestigious event. For those of you who are familiar with our committee, we have different people from different parts of our community, different parts of our school. Next year, we're going to add two wonderful new members, Mr. Matt Berry and Rob McLaughlin, who are joining us this evening. Gentlemen, congratulations and thank you for being a part of our committee for next year. Also, I would like to thank our superintendent, Maura Palmer, our principal, Jeff Dennis, for their assistance and their support. Without them, we could not have an event such as this. And yes, you can applaud at any time for all these people. That'd be it. There's a few people behind the scenes that I'd like to thank before we get into our ceremony. First, Aaron Shamshoyan, who is on the camera and does the PowerPoint for our audio-visual work and the taping for tonight's ceremony. This is also going to our Facebook Live page at facebook.com/SSDTV6. So you can see this live, and then you can go back and watch it if you'd like. It's found on our website. For the guard, Sergeant Taylor Specht, bring these wonderful students in the color guard for the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. Those kids do a lot of work. They do a very great job here, as you can see. Love to have those kids. And lastly, my assistant, Jameson Jablonski, who without his assistance, this would not go off. He does a fantastic job. Yes, you may give him a round of applause as well. Again, I'm just the master of ceremonies. This is about the Hall of Fame inductees, and our first inductee will be Miss Michaela Horn will present Miss Carolyn Malloy, class of 2008.
Okay, I was going to keep the name a surprise until the end, but I guess it's not really a surprise because she's on the program and everything. And to be clear, Carolyn is being inducted, not myself, you know. But anyway, good evening, Salem, friends and family. My name is Michaela Horn. I graduated in 2008 from Salem High School after 4 years of learning from incredible teachers, playing sports under unforgettable coaches, and experiencing life along some of the most truly wonderful humans, a few of whom I'm so lucky that are still my lifelong friends, including a few people here and our friend Carolyn. One of these wonderful humans in particular is someone who has been my very best friend since we were 8 years old. I have such a vivid memory of being out on the playground, looking at the field where the boys only, played football. And, you know, I wanted to be out there, and I would just kind of watch and try to show off some skills in other arenas and hope someone would ask me to play. But I was looking out one day, and I saw this little ball of muscle with a brown ponytail running by everybody so fast. And I was like thinking to myself, who is that girl? And how do I get on her team? A few days later, we chatted at the monkey bars, and the rest is history. As we grew together, I watched this girl kick anyone and everyone's butt in Pee Wee football, again, all boys, boys ice hockey, track, and eventually field hockey. She was never the biggest. In fact, she was pretty much always one of the smallest, but strongest. But no matter what field or arena this girl stepped into, she was fearless. And she was the best. This continued when we stepped onto the well-renowned, insanely competitive Salem High School field hockey as freshmen in 2004, where she was one of the only 2 freshmen to make the varsity team. And once again, in her humble yet indomitable fashion, she continued to excel, outrunning, outscoring, and flat out outplaying any and every athlete or challenge that she faced. Some of her accomplishments here at SHS include playing 4 varsity field hockey seasons, helping to lead the team to the state championship game every single year, and also played on the boys JV ice hockey team Division I as a freshman, varsity track, and varsity lacrosse. Relentless and unstoppable, Carolyn led the Salem varsity field hockey program to win the New Hampshire state title 3 years in a row, 2005, 2006, and 2007, captaining the team as a senior. She was elected team MVP 2005, 2006, and 2007, and led the team in scoring from 2005 to 2007. In 2007, that was our senior year in the fall, this phenom broke Salem's single-season goal scoring record with 30 goals, 70 points, including a hat trick in the playoffs and 2 goals in the state championship game. Just a few more honors in this athlete's name include, but are not limited to, 2007 National Field Hockey Association All-American, New Hampshire Field Hockey Coaches Association Player of the Year, New Hampshire Union Leader All-State Pick in 2006 and 2007, Union Leader Player of the Year in 2007, Eagle Tribune 2006 and 2007 All-State, and 2007 Most Valuable Player. Varsity Magazine 2007 Top Field Hockey Player. And just as she has always taken on and surpassed any and every endeavor that comes her way, she is now getting ready to take on her greatest adventure yet, becoming a mom. I love her dearly. Sorry. And tonight is my absolute honor to introduce my very best friend and Salem High Class of 2008 legend, Carolyn Malloy.
Wow, she's great. Can you guys hear me? Good, yeah. Thanks, McKay. So that was a surprise tonight. I did not know any of my friends were going to be here, so thank you guys. I guess I want to start by thanking everybody for putting this event on. This is awesome. And definitely want to start by thanking my family, my parents for all of their support. Obviously, the amount of sports I played was quite the time commitment, and they were there for everything. So, that's just was the reason for my success for sure. I also want to thank my sister for being here. She was also on those field hockey teams alongside McKay. McKay didn't really mention she was on all those winning teams too. Some of my favorite memories of playing high school field hockey at Salem were playing alongside my sister and ultimately my best friends. And I think that's why we were so successful in those field hockey years. It was the same team that played together starting in 6th grade at Wyndham Middle School all the way up through our senior year. And we had a lot of fun. We absolutely loved playing together. We trusted each other on and off the field, and ultimately were very, very successful. So those were some of the best years of my life for sure. Who else? I want to thank Woody for being here. My fiance, I think this really helps solidify who's maybe more athletic. Kidding, but I am still a little bit competitive, I guess. But yeah, I also really want to thank Coach Carolyn Marchant. She's not here tonight, but she was truly an incredible field hockey coach. She saw something in me when I was a freshman and pulled me up on varsity that I didn't see at the time, and I certainly didn't expect that. I expected to walk on to the freshman team like everybody else, and she brought me onto varsity, and it really was the start of very exciting, 4 years where, like McKay said, we went to the state championship all 4 years. We won 3 of them. And it really set me up to be able to play Division I field hockey in college. So I can't thank her enough for all the work she put in. She was a fantastic coach. So, kind of wanted to keep it short and sweet. McKay said some great things, so thank you. And congratulations to everybody else being inducted tonight. Really great athletes and coaches, and I'm honored to be in the same Hall of Fame as a lot of great athletes and coaches and this group behind me. So thank you all. Thank you.
And now I would like to call up Candace O'Neill, who will be inducting Lisa Connolly Briggs. Welcome to the stage.
Good evening, inductees, families, friends, and Salem High School community. My name is Candace O'Neill, and I'm here tonight with the great honor of introducing my dear friend and outstanding athlete, Lisa Briggs, as she is inducted into the Salem High School Hall of Fame. When Lisa called and asked if I would give her introduction, I truly was so honored. My only concern was, how could I possibly do this amazing woman justice in just one speech? I guess I will start at the beginning. I first formally met Lisa the summer of 1995 when I showed up for preseason field hockey tryouts. I knew who she was beforehand because of the great Wyndham-Salem rivalry in middle school. And if you ever played a sport against Lisa, she certainly stood out, and you remembered who she was. Lisa says she remembered me too, but not because I had any talent. It was only because, for some reason, us Wyndham kids, I don't know if that tradition carried on, we used to wear bandanas to all our games, and mine was purple. So I'm not super proud of that, but that's part of the story. Anyway, needless to say, that summer, I was very relieved that now we would be on the same team instead of playing against each other. Navigating the mixing of kids from two different and two very competitive towns into one high school team could have been dicey, but fortunately for us, it was anything but. Our team gelled quickly and easily. Lisa was so welcoming and encouraging to all of us, and luckily for me, I met someone who would turn out to be a lifelong friend. In preparing to make this speech tonight, I did reach out to some of our teammates. Lisa was overwhelmingly described as 100% positive, always smiling, a true leader, and someone who always put in the work. And of course, I have to include the remarks of one friend who shall remain anonymous and shared that Lisa was always at the front of the pack when we were running, probably because she lapped me. While Lisa clearly modeled each of these qualities, what makes her one of the true greats is that she was able to foster that same positivity and work ethic in the rest of us as well. This was possible because we all shared such respect and admiration for her. She is the true definition of a leader. The 4 years we spent together on and off the field created a beautiful foundation for a forever friendship. As teammates, we started out running way too many of Mr. G's notorious hills, dressing in head-to-toe black whenever we were preparing for a big game against Pinkerton, singing the Moon Song on the rides to and from away games, and many miles logged traveling back and forth to Seacoast United for indoor during the off-season. On the field, Lisa was the player you could always count on to give it everything she had and to come up big when it mattered most. Lisa's accomplishments in high school cannot be understated, though you'd never hear that from her because she is so humble. So tonight, I will proudly sing her praises. She was a pivotal member of Salem High School's first ever Class L state championship field hockey team in 1997, beating our biggest rival, Pinkerton, have to put that in there, and finishing with an undefeated season. She was also a captain of the 1998 Class L runner-up field hockey team, and what a season that was. While we did not take home a championship that year, the memories of winning our quarterfinal game in double overtime and our semifinal game after coming back from a 2-0 deficit with only 10 minutes left to play and ultimately winning in overtime are just as sweet as winning the championship the year before. In addition to her outstanding athletic talent, Lisa's positivity, her drive, and her determination lifted our entire team and kept us all going. I will never forget the tears of joy and that bus ride home. In addition to field hockey, Lisa's talents shone on the track as well. She finished in second place in the 100-meter hurdles at the 1998 NHIAA State Meet of Champions. She was the 1999 Class L state champion in the 100-meter hurdles. She finished in third place at the 1999 NHIAA State Meet of Champions. Along with all of these incredible accomplishments, she was also a captain of the field hockey, winter, and spring track teams, Female Athlete of the Year, a member of the National Honor Society, and a member of the Spanish National Honor Society. Lisa being Lisa, her achievements most definitely did not stop after high school. She went on to play field hockey for 4 years at Stonehill College, receiving the Unsung Hero Award. During her time there, she met her husband, Jim, a member of the Stonehill football team. And after college, in true Lisa fashion, she did not slow down either. She pursued a master's degree, obtained her CPA license, and married Jim. They are now raising their 2 boys, Rowan and William, right here in Salem. Rowan and William are already quite accomplished student athletes themselves, excelling in baseball and basketball, among other sports and activities. These 2 very talented boys certainly seem to be following in mom's footsteps, maybe a little of dad's too. It's the same qualities that Lisa embodied on the field and on the track all those years ago that make her such an exceptional mother, partner, and professional in adulthood. As young adults during and after college, and now old adults, navigating motherhood and careers, our relationship thankfully continues off the field. Lisa is an incredible friend, mother, wife, and career woman. She puts everything she has into everything she does. She shows up. She's still leading the pack, and she's still lapping people. The race just looks a little different now. Lisa, thank you for giving me the honor of introducing you tonight. You are somehow an even better friend than you are an athlete. For all of those lucky enough to have played alongside you, I'm emotional, you made us better teammates, better athletes, and better people. I admire everything you've accomplished, and I am so incredibly proud to see you so rightfully recognized tonight. You leave a lasting impact on everyone who crosses your path, and along with this esteemed award, that will be a part of your legacy forever.
All right. If you know me, this is not where I'm comfortable. I'm usually somewhere in the back of the pack, so good evening. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee for this incredible honor. And thank you to the Salem School Administration for hosting this amazing night. I'd like to congratulate all of my fellow inductees, and thank you to everyone for being here. Especially to my family, my mom and dad, Judy and Rich, my sister Nicole, niece Vivian, my husband Jim, my boys Rowan and William, my mother-in-law Susan, and a special thank you to my dear friend Candace for that emotional introduction. I will always treasure our friendship that began on the day that we stepped onto that field hockey field as Blue Devils. I stand here tonight feeling extremely grateful. Grateful for my years in the Salem School District, where I was surrounded by committed and dedicated teachers, coaches, and mentors, where I created lifelong friendships, and where I was given the opportunity to be a part of some amazing teams. I now have the pleasure to watch my boys walk those same hallways, although the halls look a little different now, luckily. And I watch from the sidelines as they participate and create their own academic and athletic journeys. In preparation for tonight, I made various trips down memory lane, revisiting memories that bring an instant smile to my face. I'm not one to remember stats, the score of a particular game, my best race time, or my longest jump. But what do I remember? I remember all of my teammates and the experiences we had. From the laughs we shared to the failures we encountered. I remember our team dinners, pep rallies, inside jokes, the bus rides, the songs we sang, and the chants we yelled. I remember the sound of the field hockey ball hitting the back of the net to secure our win against Pinkerton to bring home Salem High's first Class L field hockey championship. And I remember the embrace of my teammates as we celebrated our success. I remember the trips to UNH for meets and the excitement of me and my teammates as we competed at the Penn Relays. So to all of my teammates, thank you for all the memories that will truly last a lifetime. It is now, after all these years, with the ability to look back, that you do realize that it was so much more than athletics. So I'd like to give a special thanks to all my coaches. They did more than just coach. They were true mentors, instilling values that have helped shape who I am today. They taught me teamwork, discipline, communication, leadership, and so much more. And most importantly, they taught me to believe in myself. All these qualities have carried me far beyond the athletic fields, and for that, I will always be grateful. I've had the privilege to work with so many amazing coaches, some out in the crowd tonight, Coach Burns, Coach Kelleher. A few I'd like to call out individually. Coach Gatsis, or Mr. G, my field hockey coach for 4 years at Salem High. I'll never forget the sound of his voice echoing across the field hockey field, reminding us to cut the grass, move your feet, and get low. I remember wondering if Mr. G thought we were the cross-country team because we did a lot of running. But most of all, I remember how much he believed in each and every one of his players. His passion for the game was infectious, and I am so proud to have been able to play for him. And Coach Gati, I am so honored to be here with you tonight. When I joined the track team my freshman year, my intent was just to stay in shape for field hockey. But with your support, direction, and encouragement, I came to love the sport, except for the 300-meter hurdles. I remember the little strip of paper that you would give us before each meet, requesting us to put down our goals. And I remember you would usually cross out my time and put a faster one. I would tend to give you the side eye and say, fine. But it was that push and belief in my abilities that drove my success. So thank you, Coach Gati. I have to say, one of my most treasured memories is the constant presence and support of my parents, Judy and Rich Connolly. There are no words that can fully express my gratitude for everything you've done for me. Whether it was a game or meet behind Salem High, or driving in an ice storm to the Dartmouth relays, or making the trip to the Penn relays to watch me run in one single 4x100 meter race. You were and are always there. You taught me the value of hard work, the importance of having a positive attitude, and that it's okay to fail. As you taught me that it is in those moments of failure that builds character and leads to success. I know I wouldn't be standing here today without your love, support, and sacrifice. And thank you for extending that same love and support to my family. With, just most recently, taking that trip to Williamsport, Pennsylvania to support our family in the Little League World Series. Having you there to experience this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was such a special moment, one that I'll never forget. So thank you for all that you do. And lastly, a special message to my family, to my husband, Jim, who is always there to provide a sarcastic joke, but always there to support us. Thank you for all that you do for our family and for being the best coach to our boys. And to Rowan and William, as much as I will always cherish my years as an athlete, my most joyful moments are watching you both do what you love. As you continue to grow, I hope you understand the value of hard work and teamwork. Enjoy and celebrate your successes, but appreciate and learn from your failures. What do we always say? I know I sound like a broken record, but it's all about attitude and effort. Just know that you are capable of great things, not just in athletics, but in life. And know that Dad and I will always be by your side. Thank you.
And at this time now, I'd like to call up Christy Cannone to present her brother, Matt, class of 2011.
Good evening. Oh, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Christy Cannone, and I'm Matt's older sister, though not by much. Our 15-month age gap meant we were just 1 year apart in school and got to navigate through the highs and lows of high school together. We shared friends, teachers, hallways, and countless car rides, rain, snow, or New Hampshire sleet, from Wyndham to Salem High. Now, I like to joke that I hit my threshold of hours watching sports early on in life. Seriously. You would think I could be the next Erin Andrews. And while that couldn't be any further from the truth, those hours at the field, in the stands, or courtside watching Matt taught me the greatest lessons in sportsmanship and dedication. Two things I fully believe are Matt's God-given gifts. A three-sport varsity athlete, Matt took his role as a student athlete seriously. A student first, where he excelled across subjects, his memory amazes me to this day. and an athlete second, where he spent every waking hour not in the classroom, on the field, on the court, watching films, or strategizing for the next game. I had never seen anyone so passionate and dedicated at that young age, coming home late at night after putting in hours of practice beyond the expectation, because he loved his teammates, his coaches, and simply the game. Matt's dedication to what he put his mind to was beyond the classroom and under the Friday night lights. This extended to his community, where he served countless hours volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club and back on the field as a camp coach to the next generation of young athletes. Matt has a natural ability to stand out as a role model. What makes him one of a kind is that he does what's best when everyone and no one is watching. A dedicated role model with unparalleled sportsmanship, and to this day, a true and pure love of the game, I'm so honored to introduce my brother, Matt Cannone.
Thank you, Christy. I actually was not told I would be speaking, so I think this is actually better. I can actually, and if I did spend time writing, it would come from the heart. So I do just want to thank everybody for being here. It's truly an honor. I'm incredibly humbled, and this is just an incredible experience. And I live in South Florida now, and I got the last flight out before the hurricane hit. So there was a small chance I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing this via Zoom. That's not going to be good. But I did want to take a moment and just highlight a few things as I have reflected on, the last 15 years. So growing up as a kid in Windham, New Hampshire, and now as a tech sales professional, I travel the country and quite a bit. And I'm very proud to tell people I am from New Hampshire. And I always say I am from southern New Hampshire. Because when they say New Hampshire, they're like, oh, do they have internet there? And I always have to say, no, I'm not a witch. I'm a blue devil. So, flower keeps falling. But so that's something I wanted to get out there, and that's kind of where the pride comes from. As you know, Windham, a couple big things happened to us. We got Shaw's and McDonald's, and those really, really, had something to look forward to. The 25-minute commute to high school every day, as a young puppy, begging my mom for the dollar menu, she gave in 3 to 4 days a week. So we have some true superheroes there. But back to the point, Salem was an intimidating town next to them. They had their own youth football program. We partnered with Pelham. Salem had a lot going for them, and every time you played them in sports, it was, ooh, they're a little tougher than we are. Then when you got to high school, it was all bets were off. Best players are going to play. And I showed up as a skinny freshman who didn't really like football as a young kid because my dad had a full-time job and couldn't coach. So they stuck me on the line. And I showed up and said, I want to play quarterback. And Coach Gati here said, okay, let's see what you got. And because of that, it was the belief that you can accomplish anything. So I was really, really honored that there was no politics involved when you got to high school. And then I just wanted to take a moment to highlight the people that are in this room. First of all, my sister, she said we were Maddie in the morning every day for 3 years, driving to high school. My brother Brian, he was a senior when I was a freshman, so I got really lucky with the rides and getting to park close to high school. My sister's boyfriend Jeremy, he's been with us for just over a year and a half, and he's become a really close friend of mine. My brother's fiance is not here, but again, somebody that I just really love. And then my younger brother and his wife, they couldn't make it as well, but those are the people, along with my parents, who unfortunately are in Paris for their wedding anniversary, and they wanted to fly home, and we didn't. I told them it's okay, and I'm like, those are the people that see what happens outside of the classroom and outside of the field. Like Christy said, I left my house around 6 a.m., 6:30 every single day. Didn't get home till after 7 p.m. And then as I got through high school and noticed, like, oh man, I want to get some muscles, I want to go to the gym, that became later. And then with taking hard courses, you had to do homework too. So it turned into a grind, and I think that's what made me who I am. So I wanted to call out them, the Burns family. It's amazing when relationships in high school become friends, ultimately become family. They are family to me. Carrie and Greg, I met them when I was at the Boys and Girls Club. Quick story, Greg was a coach of fourth graders, and I think he just said to me like, hey, what's up, man? You want to come over and hang out? And I was like, sure. He's like, take my wife out to dinner. You want to watch the kids? I was like, sure. And it was just normal because it was the relationships that we made. And to this day, I work with Greg. Got me into my first job, been there 9 years, and you guys are family, and I love you. And then the coaches, Coach Mack, again, became is a friend to this point. It's not often that, you know, we're texting or talking. And I remember we lost a playoff basketball game. It was Coach Mack's first year at the helm, and we were all crying. We were all upset. And he said, you know, you never forget your first. You know, and you could take that a lot of different ways, but you really don't. So thank you, Coach Mack, for you know, everything that you did. I got to play a few freshman year and senior year. Coach Kelleher, I mean, you and I were, you know, together all the time. And I remember texting Coach Kelleher. We brought a state championship to Salem in 2009. Looking back on that, it's a huge honor. It's a huge deal. We don't, you know, it's, you know, that's something that most people don't ever get to experience. I remember texting with Coach K after, like, well, what just happened? And we were talking about, you know, just the letdown of, you know, missing the grind. It's like the preparation and the best part of anything is the work that you put in to get to that goal. And the games let the players play and the results will come. But it was the practice and the grind. And Coach Gati, I mean, he's behind me, but you know, the ultimate combination of father, friend, mentor, coach. Hard to put into words the impact that he's had on me as a man. To this day, we get to play golf together in Florida once a year. He believed in me when, you know, quite frankly, I had a lot of odds against me, and you know, we brought a championship to Salem, and our relationship is strong. But when I look at the amount of people outside of my father that have shaped me to do the right thing all the time, it's Jack Gati's number 2. So he's a remarkable man, and to be up here going in with him is truly incredible. And if you're a betting man, certain songs and movies make me cry. So I haven't cried yet, so but I will. I was crying to the movie The Intern on the flight up here, and the guy next to me was like, hey man, I'm really sorry that you're sad. I'm like, it was just a really good movie with Anne Hathaway, Robert De Niro. So I will say I'm so proud of the work we did off the court at the Boys and Girls Club. If you guys have kids, tell them to play all sports. Don't do private coaching. I've seen way too many kids lose talent. Play sports, go to the playground, put the phone down, focus on the moment. There is no time like the present. And do not focus on something. Go play, and then, you know, enjoy the moment. It's when you're in the locker room, it's the moment that you're together with people that those become memories, and you're not even aware that you're making memories. And then someday you'll be like me, being like, oh man, you know, if I worked out a little harder, I might not have played D3 football. I might have played D2. So, but anyway, thank you to everyone for being here. It's truly awesome, and I'm looking forward to celebrating the rest of the night with everyone. Thanks.
Words of wisdom. Very nicely put, Matthew. And lastly, if I could have Lizzie Vickers join us here on the stage to present her father, Jack Gati.
Good evening, everyone. I realize I'm the only thing between dinner and us and dinner, so I will try to keep this short and sweet. Thank you, Salem High School, for having my family, and congratulations to all inductees tonight, a few I know. My name is Elizabeth Gati Vickers, and I have the privilege to introduce my dad tonight. Yes, he has a lot of statistics and records next to his name, you know, the championships, the playoff wins. total win-loss records, and countless other numbers related to his career in teaching, football, and track. I will stick with the statistics tonight and that trend, and I'll share a little bit more about the other side of my dad. So I'm going to start with one number that's pretty important. Excuse me. 50, his greatest achievement. I have to first recognize my mom, Nancy, tonight. Nancy had the #1 voice, for those who know, at the stands at every single game. 50 is the amount of years that they'll be married in January. Growing up, yep. Growing up, we had a sign in our kitchen corner cabinet, and it said, "We interrupt this marriage to bring you the football season," and I think there's something to that. Maybe that's the key. The next number 3, proud father to his kids, myself, my brother Peter, who was on a work trip this week, and my sister Meredith, who is due any day now. We were so fortunate and lucky to grow up with a father like my dad. 7, almost 8. As I said, my sister is due any day now. His grandkids, 3 of them who are here tonight, are his favorite people in the world, and they all love him as Papa. 255. This is the number of rounds of golf my father has played in the last year and is on track to beat that record this year. Golf is his new life passion. 1 is the amount of hole-in-ones he's had this summer. Very exciting. Which, as my kids remind him, "Papa, with the amount of golf you play, shouldn't you have some more by now?" 0, the number of days that go by when he hasn't wished one of his former students, track athletes, football players a happy birthday on Facebook. He's a late adopter. He remembers every one of their numbers, their position, the year they played, and a highlight play or track PR. So all of the above to share that Jack Gati, the man, the myth, the legend, as we jokingly call him, has done so much more beyond his statistics and his game-winning record. He has been an unbelievable example, a figure to look up to, a dad we could all count on, and a coach that is celebrated for many of his former coaching staff here tonight. And players, we're so happy to be here and fortunate. I'm so honored and proud to present my dad, Jack Gati.
I was at a wedding last weekend, and I noticed some of the speakers had phones, and some of the speakers tonight had phones. I can't even see it from here. So I have a large font here. First of all, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for inducting me, and I'm also very honored to join this class right here, and I had the pleasure of coaching all 3 of them. And so I am very honored to be with you guys. I'm in great company. Having coached football and track for 37 years at Trinity, Concord, and Salem, Salem High School was my longest stint. I've been at Salem for 20 years, and so many people to thank. Here at Salem, I could start with the administration, who during my years at Salem led with great support and leadership. People like Henry LeBranch, Patrick Corbin, Michael Delahanty, Maura Palmer, Tracy Collier, Jim Davis, ADs, Chris Bergeron, Dave Rosmick, and of course, Scott Insignia. Many more. If I've missed anyone, I can blame it on my age. I coached both track and indoor track for as long as I've been at Salem. And I was the head girls track coach for a few years, then the boys track coach. But I shared this honor with Ben Adams. Ben Adams was an outstanding coach, and he has done so much for the track program here at Salem High School. I thank him for helping me during our time together. We spent many, many track meets together, and I couldn't have done it without a man like Ben Adams. Outstanding. Then there are my football coaches who coached with me for my 18 years here at Salem High School. Early years, Dave Rosmick, Jeff Collins, Joe Quinn, I can name a lot more. One right in this room, Principal Barry. Matt Barry was my tight end in the 95 championship game and caught a touchdown pass in that game. But he also coached with me for a couple of years. Did a great job. But two individuals I need to talk about over my 15 years as a coach was Steve Melissus and Dan Kelleher. They coached with me through the hard times and the good times. I think we had more good times than bad times. But it was more than just football. I mean, we had a great social commitment together, and it was just a lot of fun. They were my go-to coaches. I owe both many thanks for making my job easier. And both Steve and Dan were instrumental in the success of Salem High School. In fact, Dan Kelleher is still coaching at Salem High School. This is his 29th year as an assistant football coach, an outstanding individual. Thank you, Dan. And to all my players, I have so many to talk about in naming all the players from 94 to 2011, but instead I'm going to mention 5 teams, okay? 4 teams, my 2005-2006 made it to the state championship game. Unfortunately, we lost to Pinkerton both times, and but they were an outstanding group of guys. The next 2 teams was my 95 undefeated championship team, who did a great job, led by Johnny McDonald right here, who's also coaching right now. And also my 2009 championship team, led by quarterback Matt Cannone. But the one team I want to talk about, and it's a team I give them, and I've talked to them to almost every year after they left, because it was my 99 team who actually finished 3-7. But I've always coached my kids, winning isn't the only thing, okay? Making the effort to win is. That's the best part. And these guys lost 4 games that season by less than a touchdown, okay? But their effort was a championship effort. And I bring that team up because that's what I was trying every year to talk about to kids. And someone mentioned it before, attitude and effort. It's the most important thing. It's funny, I brought my team together every practice. First day of practice, I bring them all together and we'd talk about commitment, we'd talk about attitude, we'd talk about effort, so on and so forth. And then I started talking about me as a coach. I said, if I get a little excited, I said, don't take it personal, okay? It's called coaching. It's not yelling, okay? It's called coaching. So don't take it personal. Well, after practice, my best running back came in my office, Max Jakes. You probably know the name. He comes in, Coach, I heard your speech this morning, and I really believe what you're saying, but my ears still hear yelling. But I've been blessed here at Salem with football and track. But obviously football was a big part of my life. But last and most important is my family. Okay, that's my number one passion and always has been. My oldest daughter, Elizabeth, and her husband, Steve. Steve was actually my statistician for about 5 years, and he did a great job. Okay, it allowed me less work on Sunday morning. I didn't have to break down film and break down because he did an excellent job doing that. Thank you, Steve. But one game he couldn't make. In the 5 years, he couldn't make that game because he was playing cornhole with my son. Championship game. So who takes over? My daughter, Elizabeth. Okay, and being Elizabeth as she is, she was great. She was getting everything down. She was right on the sideline looking at the numbers, who made the tackle, so on and so forth. And she had little notes next to it. Great hit, number 55. You know, great run. You know, so on and so on. I mean, it was hilarious reading her notes after the game. She even coached a little bit on the sideline because some guys were fooling around in the back, and she goes, hey, pay attention to the game. Then there's my son, Pete. Peter actually coached with me for a couple of years, too, and he did a great job. And but like Lizzie said, he's in Ireland right now on a golf trip. Why didn't take his dad, I don't know. But and he has 3 wonderful children, and his wife, Lauren. Okay, JT, Graham, and Valerie. Great part of the family, you know, and but Peter has a little story too. One day I get a call right before practice, Dad, I can't come to practice. He was coaching. I can't come to practice. Why? He goes, well, I'm up north in business. He was in the liquor business, still is. And he goes, I have some people I got to meet and so on and so forth. Well, little did I know, he was actually at Atkinson Country Club with my son-in-law, Steve, playing golf. That's Pete, though. And then there's my little daughter, Meredith, okay? Actually, when my first couple years at Salem, she was only like 10 or 11. She was my water girl. And she's not anymore. She's carrying right now. But in any event, she has a wonderful little boy, Tommy, and she's expecting Patrick pretty soon. But then it goes back to Lizzie with her 3 children who are here tonight. William, how you doing? Andrew, and Katie B. They're everything to me, all my grandchildren, and of course my own kids. But I'd be remiss not to mention someone at our table, Sean Cox, who was our athletic trainer at Salem High School. I first met him in '83 when I was at Trinity High School, and he's done a great job over the years with all our athletic teams. But when I met him in '83, it was 103 degrees. We were playing Salem. I was at Trinity, we were playing Salem, and one of my players was a diabetic, and he had a huge reaction after the game. And that's where I met Mr. Cox. He took care of him and did a great job, and has done a great job all my years here at Salem High School, and I'm sure I owe you a lot of thanks. And again, my colleagues in the P department, Dan Kelleher and Michelle Cassidy, I've worked with them for all my years at Trinity, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I guess in closing, I just want to thank everyone involved in making this a great evening. And again, congratulations to my Hall of Fame classmates. And that's it. Thank you very much.
So there's I always like to mention there's a common theme to every Hall of Fame, and this one has that family piece. And it's not the general family, but the connections. And when we were doing this and we were getting the inductees, it was very heartful, and it was very nice to be able to see the connections between all 4 inductees as they come into our Hall of Fame this year. So congratulations to everybody. Give them a round of applause. It's very nice. Well, a few other things that I want to do to wrap this up. We always are, the committee members are always saying, how come so-and-so's not in, or why aren't they in? Well, unfortunately, committee members can't nominate people to come into the Hall of Fame. So we ask everybody to go to our website, follow the Hall of Fame application there, and fill something out and send it to us. We're happy to get those in. We're more than happy to look at any applications that come our way. So if you go to the district page, it's about the district, and there's a programs and services link. Just click that, Hall of Fame comes up. Or if you go to the high school website, click athletics, and on the right-hand side of that page, it says Hall of Fame. Download that app, send it in. We're happy to take a look at that and make sure that we get everybody involved with that going forward. So at this point, again, I'll ask congratulations to all our inductees. We're going to take a few pictures. As we are taking some pictures, I'm going to turn this over to our Atkinson staff. They are going to tell who is going up for the buffet. Again, I can't thank everybody enough for turning out tonight. Excellent speeches. Please enjoy our meal, have a drink, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.